It's a pity if I try to. Okay, let me see where I can start from here. RSI. Hold on. Coming. The RSI is set on 70.30.
Yes.
Hello, Lee.
Yes.
Are you sure? It's 70.30. Set it on 70.30.
Yes, it's on 70.30. Yes.
It's on 70.30 now.
It is.
Yeah. 70.30. Very good. Then yeah. Okay, let's go back. Let me go back a bit. I mean, move to the right. Move the screen to the right. Okay, let's start from here. Let's start from here. Now look at the trend. The trend. Are you with me, Lee?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Now look at the trend now. You can see it's making a downward move. Look at the last red candle. You can see its point is coming down, right? Then look at the RSI. It's pointing down towards 30 now. I said as it is moving down like that, the moment it touches that 30 line, the moment it touches 30 line, yeah, somewhere there, I start paying attention. I'm not saying enter. I'm trying to pay attention to that pair. The moment now at that place, I start paying attention to that pair. Then I ask myself, is it going to go? Yes, very good. Is it going to go further down from there, or it wants to make an upward movement? That is the first question I have to ask myself. Let's wait as it's going. Let's hope it touches it, and let's now wait. Exercise patience. Patience is very key here. And first of all, before we even we have to check, is there any news that is affecting those movements now, or there is no news? Go to our Forex, www.forexfactory.com to go and check whether we have a red flag news, high impact news. If there is any high impact news, the best bet is to leave the trade. If you don't know how to analyze the effects of that high impact news on your trade, it's better how it affects the pairs. It's better you leave it. Let the trade go its way and wait for another setup. But what we are going to do here is just to wait, exercise patience. Don't enter now. It's still making a downward move. If I'm trading, I have to wait. I want to wait to see whether it's going to touch that line of 30. Immediately it touches that line of 30, I start to ask myself one simple question. Is it going to take an upward move or not? Now, while we are waiting for that, look at the last movement. Look at the last movement that pointed down almost to zero there. Very good, Lynn. Yeah, give me the figure for the RSI then. What is the RSI figure at that point in time? That's around what?
10.56.
10.56. That was exactly what I was telling you. When it's on 10.56, when it's on single digits, you are in for big money to pick. The farther it goes down, the more opportunity for you to do what? To strike and make a whole lot of dollars here. Now, look at what has happened. You can, if we are analyzing that particular trade, while we are waiting for the other trend to go. Now, if we are analyzing this particular trade, look at the red candle. Those red candles are formed 15 minutes. Yes, all those red candles, they open and close at 15 minutes. Look at the week. Look at the week for that one we are picking. Yes, they are all formed 15 minutes and closes at 15 minutes. Now, this is how I enter using this particular example you are pointing at. Now, I will wait because it has touched that. If you look at 70 here, it has touched the 70. I have waited. I've allowed it to move down up to that 10. That is where the concept of patience comes in here. People should not just enter the trade anyhow. Wait, exercise patience. You are going to make that money, but don't rush. Don't rush yourself. Because it is the big guys in the market. When I talk about big guys, I'm talking about countries of the world. I'm talking of central banks of the world that are pumping into the money of this system. I'm talking of hedge funds. I'm talking of big speculators that are pumping trillions of dollars. These are the people that are responsible for the movement, upward and downward movement of this trend. We, as a person that are trading, we have to follow their trend, because the trend, they say, is always our friend. So what you need to do is just to exercise patience. That's one. Secondly, you have to set your goal on what you want to do. And thirdly, you just have to be disciplined. It's very, very important. You have to be disciplined in whatever you are doing. Now, go back to that. Now, when you see the red was coming, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see it's 5 candles. Are you with me?
Yes, right here.
At the last candle there, you can see that the big guys now say, yes, we want to start moving up. So the green candle is formed. At that area where the green candle is formed, after I've exercised patience for it to go to the last we want to go, having checked the news, that whether it's news that is affecting us, some other confirmations, what will I do? I will enter trade at that very beginning of the green candle there. That is where I'm going to enter. And if I enter there, I do my 5 entry. I do my instant execution around that place. Do you understand me now? Are you getting it?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Yes.
At that very point, you are putting your cursor on. That is where I'm going to enter, because I know that one, it is I reach 10. The probability of reaching 0 is very, very remote. I have never seen it move down to 0. The least I have seen it move down to is 3 or 4. It has. So if at all I want to set any stop loss or something like that, is for me to really look at that range and put my stop loss between that 10 and probably 6 or 4. Do you understand? That could give me around maybe 20 or 30 pips or something like that, or nothing less than that. Just try to calculate how many pips that will give you. But I know, and I've never seen it, that it has broken down to that 0. It has never moved down to 0. So as it is there, as you are where you put your cursor, that is where I'm going to enter. If I enter there, I do instant execution 5 times there for a start. So immediately it moves, immediately it starts moving upward. You can see the first candle there. The first candle, the green candle. Yes, you can see it. That is big money for me already, because by that time, if for example I'm expecting $50 per each of those entries that I make, that is approximately $250. But people should note that when you are entering there, you have to be fast. If you are not fast, the time you use in entry will affect the profit you gain from each of those entries that you have made. The time used in entry, if you are making an instant execution, you need to be very fast with it. Why? Because if you want to get something close to that $150, you cannot get the accurate, because you cannot click at the same time all of them. It's not possible. But you have to try to be swift about it, so as to maximize that profit you are going to make. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So at that very point in time, I do instant execution. I only do this when I know that I want to stay with my phone. I always stay with my phone, because it doesn't take me more than between 30 minutes to 1 hour, 1.5 hours, maximum 2 hours before I make my 400, 500 target for the day. And immediately I make it, even if I do it in 30 minutes, I am off for that day. So people, that is what we call discipline. And you don't want to be what? Greedy. So people should learn together. So if I enter at that point and it moves upward like that, what I will be seeing is nothing but profits immediately. I will be seeing profits. So if the profit grows, it grows from 0 to 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 to 25. As it's moving upward, I now look at my stochastic. Look at my stochastic. The red has crossed the blue. I mean, the blue has crossed over the red at the bottom there. You can see it. Yes, it has crossed. That is another confirmation for you that you can now enter. But for me, I use mostly the candle. Since the candle has started forming up there, that is where I'm going to enter. When I enter 5 times. Immediately this profit starts coming. I'm expecting 50, for example, by each of the entry. Now, one, it has that thing has moved to maybe 25, 30. What I will do is that I don't want to leave it for too long because the trade can reverse. Look at the first candle, look at the second candle. You can see, look at the second candle. Can you point to the second candle, man? Lee, are you with me? Yeah, point to the second candle, that green candle. You can see that, look at the end of that candle. End of the second candle. Oh, yeah, that is it. You see, if you are watching it, you can see your profit grow from where the first candle starts forming to that second candle. So at that second candle, maybe I will have made like $40 out of that $50 or 50 or more than that. Because you can see from 10, if you look at where it is on stochastic, go back to the stochastic, look at where it starts having a reverse trend. Look at, we started from 10. Let's look at where it starts, trace it upwards. Go to RSI now. Go to RSI. Look at where it started making a reverse. Yeah, very good. You are very correct. Around that place, you started having a reverse. That is why you are having red candle beside the second green candle up there. Do you understand? So how do you get out from here? How do you get out from here? For example, it has started that upward movement. It moved from, you started seeing your profit from 0 to 5 to 10 to 20 to 30, probably to 40. If you look, what is the corresponding RSI figure on that place you are putting candle, please? Or that place you are putting cursor? Is what?
45.
45. It has broken that 30. At any point in time, I always believe that when it starts an upward movement right from the bottom, it must break that 30 and that 30 upward. Sometimes it comes from that bottom like that. It breaks it before it will break that 30 and move upward to even 70 and up and even above 70. You can imagine the kind of pips you have gained. You can imagine the kind of huge dollars. At times, that singular move alone is enough for me to make my day. So what I will do now, as it's moving from the beginning, from that green candle, first candle is formed, 15 minutes, second candle is formed and closed at 15 minutes. That's a huge money for me. I will have picked immediately I see that red candle start forming, I will get out.
Right here.
Immediately that red candle, how do I know that is going to, I have to get out? Because of that red candle, you know, if you are looking at your profits moves from 0 to probably 45. Let's say $45 by each of those pairs you have moved. Now that 45 has reduced to probably 43, 42, 40. That is where that red candle will start forming, because it has started taking what? A downward trend. What will I be doing? The next thing I'm going to do is to close that trade immediately, because I don't want that thing to keep going down, because I cannot be, one thing about this strategy is that you have to be smart in the sense that you cannot afford to make $45 in a particular trade and that trade keeps going down right in your front, and you cannot do anything about it. Somebody want to give you $50, and you have gotten $45 out of that. What you need to do, that $45 starts diminishing, starts diminishing from 45, decreasing from 45 to 43 to 42. You don't need any soothsayer to tell you that you have to get out of the market. It gets to 40, you are still looking at it. For me, I don't look at it like that. The moment it starts decreasing, and for the fact that I've gotten 45 out of 50, I think it's a huge money for me. I will pick it immediately and get out of the market for that trade. If I keep it, that is about 40, 35 because of the time in closing it, maybe 40, 35 average on those 5 trades. Put them together in 5 places, you have made over $150 on that singular move. So what I will do next is just to exercise patience. Does it want to go further up, or you want to go down, or the trend wants to move down again? I will be watching again. So let me see here. If I would have gotten down from that second candle, because that red candle has started forming, and I've made enough of money from there. So I will not want the red candle to even start and finish before I get out. Immediately I see a trend that my dollar that I've made is now decreasing. I don't need anybody anywhere to tell me that I have to get out of the market. So I have to get out, pick those dollars, keep it in my pocket first, then wait for what it's going to do. What did he do after? He started making the red candle. You can see that red candle. You can see the wick and the body. You can see the wick and the body of that red candle there.
Okay.
There.
I'm sorry. I just said.
Can you understand? Do you understand how I get in and how I get out now?
Well, I do, but here's the question. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of people who are waiting on the RSI to go below the 30.
Yeah.
And now, do you wait on the stochastic to cross or no?
For this particular one that we are watching, it has not touched 30. I'm still not going to do anything. I will still keep watching. Yeah. Okay. I will still keep watching. Whether stochastic cannot cross at this stage, you can see the two lines of stochastic, the red and the blue, they are still pointing downward, meaning that there is every probability that this thing can still go further down. So I will keep watching until it when it touches that 30 there. I'll keep watching to know the further action, because it still will be giving me that red candle. You can see the red candle there. It's still going down until the blue, when it touches that 30, then I ask myself, do you still want to go further down, or you want to make an upward movement? Then I will have to back check again to see if there is no news. As I'm looking at it, there is no news. But at this stage, I will not still enter, because you can see the green candle there, but it has to move below 30 before I do my entry. Even though it's up around that time, I will not enter there, because it has not really touched that 30 down. But if it has touched 30 further down and it makes this kind of move, I will enter. This kind of move, you can still retrace again back to that 30 we are watching. Yeah.
All right. So here's what we're having some issues with is a lot of people are waiting on the RSI to break 30. They're waiting on the stochastic to look down. They're waiting on the RSI to look down. And as soon as the RSI goes in their direction and they're entering, then of course it goes the other direction. So when it continues to move against you, do you immediately get out or do you wait?
Say it again.
So let's just say, for instance, that the RSI was above the 70. It was up here, and the stochastic had crossed. Then when you enter, if the candle turns and goes against you, and you start losing, do you get out or do you wait?
most times, when the movement, look at the example we just did now. If I have about, let me say, $20 when it makes the first move in my favor, and it's moving down to probably 15 or 10, I will get out. Pick those ones that I've done, I will get out, because I don't want it to retrace up to the level that the 20 that I've gotten will be now be zero. No, I won't want that to happen. I will get out and pick that money first. And that's why in so many postings that I make, it is hard for you to see bread there, because I will make sure I get out immediately before that money is exhausted or it comes back to red. That is where people have to be very, very careful. Some people will look at it. They will think that, okay, you have made $30, okay, it's still going to go further to 50. And that $30 will disappear within your eyes then. I cannot allow that to happen. Immediately $30 falls to 25, I get out. I take the 20 that or 25 that I've taken there. That's what I do to rescue that kind of question you are saying, you are asking.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because what a lot of people are having the issue with is once they get in the trade, then it goes negative. It isn't going positive. It's going negative. So, you know, so they're waiting on the RSI, they're waiting on the stochastic, but yet when they got in, like say for instance right here, can you see, let's look at this one right here. So here we have the RSI above 30, above 70, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The stochastic is above 80. Okay. And so, you know, now here I can see, I don't know if in this time the RSI looked down, you know, because the RSI can flip around on you. It can look down and it can look back up.
Of course, that's how it works.
Right, right. So, you know, so let's just say, for instance, they got in and then the RSI flipped back up and the trade starts going against them. You know, so do you stay in the trade when it goes against you into drawdown, or do you get out?
Now, look where you are pointing. Look at the red candle up there. Look at the red candle. Yeah, that red candle. I want to do a sell now. Because I want to do a sell now, you can see it has moved to, I have waited, and the green candle starts forming. You can see the green candle before it. That is where I'm going to enter. You know, it has both the body and the wick. The wick should be around the area where you have the red candle up there. Do you understand me? So at the wick of that, if I want to do my, look at the small one before the red candle start forming. Yeah. Okay, good. Look at, you can see. That is, immediately this red candle is formed. Look at the wick for the red candle. Up.
Right here.
Upper wick. Yeah, that is where I am, the first point of the wick, up there. That's where I'm going to enter. By the time I enter there, it will be going up and down. And first candle is formed, which is the red candle. Look at the second candle, look at the third candle, and look at the fourth, fifth one. Immediately, the red candle is formed up there because I'm doing a sell. That is where I'm going to enter. Because I will have waited, it will have crossed that 70, it will have moved further up. I will have exercised that concept of patience. Because that is where the problem is. People enter in between. People say, when it enters 70, that is when you enter. If you enter at 70 and the team moves up, then it's going to take you out of the trade. You are going to lose. The best thing is to exercise patience. The further it moves up, you are at a very, very convenient state to make more profits. The same thing goes for the buy order. The further it goes down first and the green candle is formed, then so I entered using the candle. I use stochastic crossing to further confirm. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that, because the movement on the RSI, you cannot compare it with the movement with stochastic. Stochastic is a bit slower than the way RSI move. RSI move precisely to time. but the stochastic is a bit slower than the way before it crosses and all those ones. It's just showing you further confirmation if it's pointing up, you are doing a buy, or if it's pointing down here as you are doing a sell. Yeah, as it's crossing there, it's just further confirming that day. But I can assure you, I use candle first to do the first entry because it's faster, and that candle forms according to the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you use that candle immediately and look at the movement here, it's wonderful. Look at yes, there. Look at the movement down from how what's the value there. This is big money for anybody, and you can see the movement. The moment you pick it, that's why I said the concept of having patience is very, very important. Look at where it has picked it from around 80 or something like that, and it moves straight downward, cross the 70, and moves up to maybe 30 or thereabout. That's huge money. So you cannot say you cannot make money here. Now, that is it. You cannot see any green candle in between. Now, look at the movement of this one, the last one here, that is showing green and showing red in between. This last movement, upward trend. Look at it. Last by your right. The last one by your right. Yeah. Look at the upward trend. You can see the. Let me explain that area for you, to you now. That is where one of the questions you just asked. As I enter from that place, you are putting the cursor. I will be making money straight before that red. Before that red you are seeing. Look at the upward trend. Look at the upward trend. Follow it up. That's the first red. You have two red candles there. First one. First one. That yes. You can see what I'm going to make money from that. If I'm trying to do a sell here. Look at it. A sell moves from that that down to where you have it, but a buy move start from there. Although it has not touched, the buy there has not touched you. Let's assume that that thing is coming from below 30. That trend is coming below 30. It has. You can see green candle, and another. You can see the green candle. You can see this first green candle, second green candle. In between that first green candle, you are seeing. Yeah, yes, the first green candle down. Yes, the first green candle. I will have placed my what? My buy. Yeah, at the first appearance of that candle, I will place my buy there. Immediately, the profit starts moving. First candle has formed, it has gone. Second candle has formed, has gone. The third candle, you can see red. I will not wait for it, for that red to have to grow big, because the more it grows out, the more you allow the red, the more your money starts diminishing, decreases. Do you understand? So I will not wait. What I will do there is to close that trade. I will close that trade and wait again. I will look at my stochastic, it's still pointing upward. Yes, I can enter now. Instead of doing 5 entries, I will reduce it to probably 2 or 3 because it's getting towards the middle now. I will reduce it to 2 or 3 and reduce my lot size. If I'm using 0.5 or 6 or something like that, I can always bring it down a bit to maybe 0.30 or something like, or 2, just to minimize my risk of any. But you can still see after that first candle in the middle, it still continue to make the upward trend. So I can still continue to make my money. I can enter there and still continue to make my money there. So that's the way I guide against those red candles that form in between the trend that you are expecting to happen. It will show from your profit that it is decreasing. Once it is decreasing, don't let it eat deep into your profit before you get out. When you do it like that, it is very, very rare for you to lose money. Even if you are going to lose, it's going to be minimal. It's not going to be huge because you are not in control of the market. It is not what you put in that's affecting the movement. It is what the guys are putting in. So you have to follow the trend. The trend is always your friend.
Okay, so I want to just recap real quick because we have to get started on our next session here in just a minute. But so I just want to make sure, I think everybody knows that if you're already in the trade and making profit and you start diminishing or losing profit, just get out when, or at least close a few of your trades if you have multiple trades open. But I think entry is the key that everybody's having the biggest issue with. And so I want to make sure that that we set a few rules. So RSI is at 70 and 30, and you prefer that the indicator go below 30 or above 70 to wait for the move. All right, is that correct?
Yeah, let them wait very well. You have to wait and check the news first to be able to determine the kind of movement. Because if there is news as you are trading and you don't check the news and it goes further down, that news can affect and it can really take your profit. So always check the news before you click your buy or sell button.
Yes.
Very, very key. Yeah.
Yes.
The three, please, there are three key things I want people to understand. One, patience is very, very key for this strategy. That's one. Two, be disciplined. Be disciplined in the sense that you set a goal for yourself. It's $500 I want to make today. Immediately you make it. Even if it is 30 minutes that you make it, get out and close for the day. Don't let greed really affect you in your trading. Don't let greed. Avoid greed. So I've mentioned three things. One, patience. Two, avoid greed. Three, be disciplined. There are very three key words that guides me to successfully trade this thing and make consistent profits.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for being on with us. Our hour is up. I'm sorry we had so many technical difficulties in the beginning, but you know, I think this is a good starting point. I think everybody's going to be able to, you know, start practicing the. Yes. Everyone is saying thank you. They've learned a lot. And
yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, I know you probably have questions, but you're going to have to ask those in our Facebook group so that we can.
Yeah. Just give them my Facebook. They answer the question. I can always answer them. I'm here for all of myself and Lee Allen. We are here to make you rich. We are here to make everybody, human being that you can contact, want to change people's life. That's our major goal. And we are going to achieve it together. Everybody is going to smile. Lee Allen, Sheriff, and other educators of IML. We are greatly proud of you people. Yes, keep moving it. And keep teaching people too. Because we are trying to duplicate ourselves to you guys. So keep teaching people, help us to grow, help us to make this world a better place to live in. I love you all.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I'm heading over to IML TV on the English channel so that we can work with pivots, charts, and channels. All right. We'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.